So here's how the story goes. My family is very strange. We've got an African grey parrot and an Indian rock toad. An Indian rock toad. Even Wikipedia doesn't know what one of them is. For the past few Christmases, me and my brother have been in a horrible gift-giving fight, I guess. He will get me something African grey related, thinking that I'm part of some sort of fan club for our African grey parrot. When we all know he's just in denial. He's obviously a huge fan of Kevin the Indian rock toad, which is why I started the Kevin Toad fan club. But things are getting really heated, and I think this year we're both upping our game big time. And that's why I wanted to give him his very own Kevin Toad fan club membership card. So I bought a broken Magicard ID card printer. What could go wrong? Welcome to Bad Luck Tech. So I got this printer for a very cheap price on eBay. I think I paid like £80 for this or something. But the box it arrived in, it was basically falling out the bottom of the box. So yeah, I had low hopes for fixing what was already a broken printer. Supposedly the fault is simply a jammed flipper. That sounds like a pretty easy fix. So the Magicard is in one piece, believe it or not. Although I did notice that it was manufactured in the UK. Does that mean it's going to catch fire?
Why has it done that?
I also noticed that there was an Ethernet port with a sticker over it, which I found a little interesting. And this is a fully functional Ethernet port, so I have no idea why there was a sticker over it. And in hindsight, use the Ethernet. The USB drivers are absolutely terrible and do not work on Windows 10. Ethernet works great. So I powered it up for the first time to see if the fault actually existed. And indeed, it did. So let's have a look inside. As you can see inside, the issue will be pretty obvious. The belt seems to be slipping, but why is it slipping? It should not be slipping like that. And it's at this point that I did a bit of Googling, and I actually found a PDF file from Magicard explaining this very issue. And it gave full detailed instructions on what to do if you encounter this issue. It's a known fault, simply a case of the grease drying up. So let's take a look at the grease on my Magicard and see what it actually looks like. And it was pretty clear, it was horribly sticky in there. This would have been jamming up all the motors and everything, preventing it from turning. So I did as the instruction suggested and tried to clean it off with some alcohol. It was very difficult to film this though, so I did most of it off camera. I ended up switching to Q-tips for this job because it was actually a little easier to get in there with them, and they came out absolutely filthy. So it was time to turn it on and see if this had fixed it. I was feeling pretty hopeful considering it was the Magicard's own instructions. And already we're getting further. I don't even know what a holocoat is, but we're turning it on apparently. And would you look at that, the printer is ready. Since the flipper is now fixed and flips perfectly fine, I figured it was only best that we tried putting an actual card through the machine. Will it feed it properly, or will it just explode? That seems like a win. However, the cards were not printing properly. Some of them looked like this. But the colour cards in particular looked really bad, and there was 2 clearly dead pixels. One of the problems, however, that I was unable to get a good picture of was the fact that it was printing a school's logo on every card. A coat of arms as a hologram. This is that aforementioned holocoat feature. Presumably that means that inside this printer somewhere it is retaining that logo. So I will have a look inside and see if I can fix that as well. I also noticed that the fan had got so hot that it melted its own label. We will clearly have to fix that at some point as well. That will probably not help the print quality. I also found this screw rolling around in the box, which probably should go to something. So we should find where that goes. So the inside of the unit is actually surprisingly well built. Lots of big cogs and heavy duty looking motors. And we've got a date code as well, 2008. Wow, what a good year. We even have this weird tachometer. I have no idea what this is, but it's got a light bridge thing, light gap thing, and loads of holes in it. Another little motor here, and you can also see the power supply in the very bottom. That looks like a complete pain to replace. On the other side, we've got the main PCB, which as you can see is littered with weird chips, like this lattice, which just reminds me of Pi. Maybe it's an ARM chip. I haven't googled it. But now I'm thinking of Pi because I said lattice. And I should probably stop talking because it's going on forever. And this chip, which is what is that? A cool fire. I don't think there's such a thing as a cool fire. There's also this tiny chip and these memory looking chips, one of them Samsung, so maybe it will catch fire. And yeah, I have no idea what any of this does, to be honest with you, but there's another date code there of 2008, so we can confirm it's a pretty old printer. Big beefy motors as well in this thing. Look at that looks so complicated. More little tiny motor here, oh, it's so cute. Really well built inside, believe it or not. Here's the motors for the flipper unit, one to flip and one to feed the cards. And what the hell is this in the bottom? It says Holocoat on it, and it's a memory card slot, and it clearly shouldn't be there. It's just sitting in the bottom. It's a compact flash card. That is obviously where the missing screw came from as well. I would love to put this in a computer and see what's on it. It'd be really cool if it's just like a bitmap picture that I could put my own holograms on. This card reader is obviously supposed to go in this little slot in the front case. But because I'm missing the other nut, I cannot put it back there with both screws. But it will sit there just fine. I don't plan on using it anyway. And now, to finish this video, let's have a compilation of some of the cards that I've printed from this printer. I haven't fully cracked this printer yet, but I will hopefully do a follow-up video that has a bit more of a success rate in it.